Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. We are in the class 12th and our topic is nation building and its problems. In the today's video, we shall discuss about the problems of the refugees as well as the problems created at the time of independence by the principal states. First of all, we will know who were the refugees. The people who were urged, who were compelled to leave their homes, to leave their shelter, to leave their assets by force, by means of the separation of two countries, by the partition. The minorities from one side were forced to reach to the another side, and from the another side they were forced to reach to the other side of the borders. The people took their refuge within the refuge camps, within the temporary camps. At the time of independence, the day of independence, whether it was the 14th of August or the 15th of August, both these days were full of tragic as well as joy. By tragic we mean because a large number of population was forced to migrate from one side of the border to the another side of the border. Likewise, same happened to the other side of the border. The minorities living in that part of the border, they were also forced to reach to the other part of the border. And it was the day of joy because the long-led rule of these Britishers came to an end. After near about 200 centuries, the Britishers gave independence to the Indian people, to the people of Pakistan. As such, the people were celebrating the independence as the joy. But within the time frame, when the people were migrating from one place to another place, when they were trying to reach to the safer places, there was the large scale of atrocities and the killings of the innocent common people. As in the name of the religion, ruthlessly people were killed, maimed, and people were forced to convert their religions. Even though minorities of both sides fled from their homes and took temporary shelter in the refugee camps. The people traveled by all means of the availability of the transport. Even some people traveled by means of foot. Why? Because they were forced to leave their homeland, they were forced to leave their homes, they were forced to leave their assets within their vicinity. During the journey, several people were killed, several women were abducted, several women were even raped, several women were even forced to convert their religion. And the children who could not walk along, they were also separated from their parents, which resulted in that the freedom for them means to settle their life in the refugee camps, to settle their life within the temporary built camps. Likewise, the nation was facing backwardness due to the long rule of the Britishers. As the nation has emerged, as the nation has got the freedom after a long struggle. As such, there was not the basic amenities were not available to everyone, and economically and politically the nation was so much backward that it could not cater the needs of its people, which resulted in that the people who have migrated from one side of the border to the another side of the border, and we are talking about those minorities who came from that side of the border, who settled within the India. It became the question mark for the leadership, as some people among them were the educated people and the middle class people who could not survive for long, and they remain in the refugee camps not only for months together but for years together, which resulted that the leadership have never thought of such an exodus problem would arise when the people will migrate, when the partition will take place. They were not thinking about that how much it will take how much it will take, how much lives it will take to settle down the issue. As such, it became it became a vigorous problem for the leadership to settle down the problem of the refugees. Likewise, the problem of the refugees, likewise we were having another problem, which was the problem of the princely states. First of all, what we should know what these princely states were. The princely states, there were two sets of the territories. The one set of the territory which was under the direct control of the Britishers, and it is under the leadership of the British Governor General, whose office was in the London. The second set of the government was the government of the people, the princely states areas over which the British Crown had the suzerainty, but were under the control of the hereditary rulers. In these areas, near about 1/3 of the territory was under the control of the princely states, and among every Indian, among 4 Indians, 1 Indian were living in these princely states. The problem with these princely states was that these states, when the British rule came to an end, the paramountcy of the British Crown over these princely states also lapsed, which resulted that these states were made independent, and these states were given the consent whether they will join their hands with India, whether they will take part with the Pakistan, or whether they will remain independent. As such, several states might have thought if they will attain the independence, it will be a good step for their future, and some states resented that they will either join their hands with the Pakistan, and some states with the Indian territory. The question of the ruler of the Travancore and the Nizam of the Hyderabad, likewise the Maharaja of the Manipur and Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir, they declared their states as the independent states, and they said that we will remain as independent. But this resulted that it became a problem for the India, that how united India will come into force when Pakistan was relegated from it, when Pakistan was partitioned from it, when already the territory was divided into two nations, into 2 countries, that's Pakistan and India. Likewise, the question mark arises here: if Hyderabad, if Mizoram, if Jammu and Kashmir, likewise if Travancore, if these states will also get the independence, India will not become a federal India, as some states which were having the large mass of the land within them, which were having the large population with them, if they will not join hands with India, how come India will become a federal state? So this question also arises here: how to manage the problems of these minorities. We will continue this topic in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.